Welcome everyone. Vlad. Welcome everyone to the August 11th inaugural for the 26-27 school board meeting of the Scotts Valley Unified School District. I'm calling this meeting to order at 6:12 p.m. If you would all please rise for a flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. One nation. Thank you, everyone. All right, we had a closed section action report discussing the superintendent's goals for 26-27. Provided some feedback. Setting up goals for the year. Setting the agenda. Do we have any changes from staff for the agenda? Any changes from any trustees for the agenda? Very good. Can I get a motion to set the agenda, please?
So moved.
I second.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Very good. All right, board update and discussion. And since it's been summertime, probably not a lot to provide an update, but we'll still go through everybody. Stephanie?
Okay, well, welcome back, everyone. Good to see you. Hope you had a nice summer. We are in the new school year. I feel like summer went way too fast, but here we are. I don't have too much to report. One of the things I did, though, is I did volunteer at Scotts Valley's 60th birthday, which I don't know if you went, but it was really a nice event. It was done by Parks and Recreation from Scotts Valley. It was a cute event, and for me, I've lived here my entire life, it brought back a lot of wonderful memories, great memories. They did a great job in how they did it. It was a lot of fun. So I just want to give a shout out to Parks and Rec for doing that. It was a great time. But I don't have anything else to really report other than I took a little time off.
Very good. Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yep.
So it looks like all our mics are on. We all have them on at the same time?
I generally keep mine on as practice.
Okay.
Now, but yeah. Yeah, feel free to turn it off. All right, Gary.
Well, just like Stephanie, beginning of the year, there's been a lot going on, although I did go to the welcome dinner, not dinner, breakfast. There we go. And it's to see all the new people and the faces of a principal. Nice to be back. Although breaks are nice, it's always something. The only other thing that I really have done is been following 1204, hoping pass. It's huge, even if it does pass, it's not going to benefit us because, but it's something. Just been following that. It is going to Appropriations Committee. Bills go to die, so but we will hope.
All right, thank you, Gary. Lucia.
Hey, everyone. It's always good to be back. It's really good to send kids off to school. So thank you, teachers, principals, admin, everyone that keeps schools open. I was very happy on Thursday morning to send her off her merry way. She's like, but I'm not ready. It doesn't matter. You're ready. I'm ready. So off you go. So thank you, guys. I know the beginning of the year comes fast and furious, but thank you for the work that you do. I also just wanted to mention the board will be sending out a survey. We really are interested in getting some feedback from all of you, teachers. It's mostly, yeah, teachers especially. We just want to know, and yeah, inside administration, we really, again, it's coming from the board. We would love your feedback. I also just today received multicultural fair lawn poster that I'm supposed to post today for the Saturday, October 3rd from 12 to 6 at Sky Park that I'm excited always to be part of. That's it for me.
Very good. Thank you, Lucia. Erica?
Everybody, I echo your sentiment. It was fantastic to send one of my kids off to school. I still have the horrifying all at the same time. Shout out to all you college. Yeah, thank you to everyone for like a successful launch to the school year. Staff, everyone goes into. Not too much to report on my end. See a survey that's going to be soon. I'm looking forward to the start of the year events.
Thank you, Erica. So for my own update, a few things. Volunteered at the SVEF Food Truck Friday. We had a really good turnout, very fun and festive evening. Been reading and tracking CSB updates over the summer, particularly with respect to the budget. We'll have a little bit of discussion about that tonight. I attended the 60th birthday celebration. I learned a lot about the history of our schools. Actually, there was a lot of neat material available, helping chronicle the beginning of the one schoolhouse that we used to have on the site of the middle school. It was neat to see that historical information and understand where the bell came from. I also was there at the welcome breakfast. It was great to see the staff and see people refreshed, excited, meet some of our new folks. And also I really enjoyed the service awards, seeing how we have some great longevity teachers in our district, staff in our district. It's been great to see that. I did file my papers to run for 4 more years on the school board. So papers are in. We should see what happens. And I also submitted my application to run for CSBA's vice president this fall. So that is also in progress. Been taking pictures every few weeks over the summer. My wife thinks I'm crazy because I keep taking pictures of dirt. But I am taking pictures up at Scotts Valley High because I'm excited to see, oh, the tractors have moved, another wall was built. Oh, look, they're grading where they're gonna put in the stands. I'm just thrilled. This was so many years coming, and it's exciting to actually see the vision come true, even if we are just moving dirt right now. And I wrote our back to school banner article, which will appear in this Friday's edition, including, I hope, one of my pictures of dirt. So just excited to be kicking off the school year with you all, and really thought it was great. Enjoyed the welcome breakfast. Great way to kick off the year. So thank you, Tanya and staff, for putting that together and getting us off to a good start. And that concludes my report. Over to you, Tanya.
Same audience. All right, so my turn. I hope everybody had a decent summer. I think there is a theme. It was a very short summer. It was definitely a short summer here in the district. Our last board meeting is held in mid-June, and teachers return the first part of August, and that makes for a very short July. Over the summer, we prevailed on 4 of 5 interdistrict transfer appeals heard before the County Office of Education Board in closed session. A special thank you to Josh Wall, who had to make himself available throughout the summer to present on behalf of the site and the district. So thanks, Josh. Teachers are appreciative of that as well. Our school sites reopened mid-July, and we held our beginning of the year leadership teams July 23rd and 24th, and it just feels like things just keep happening earlier. We all talk about when we were in school after Labor Day, right? On July 31st, we welcomed our new certificated staff members at the orientation, and as mentioned, that evening I worked with Kathy, Nicole, Roger, and Gary at Food Truck Friday. There's a lot of really good energy there that night. I also attended the Scotts Valley 60th birthday at Sky Park on that Sunday, August 2nd. And our district also celebrated Scotts Valley's 60th birthday by providing commemorative stickers to students and staff on the first day of school. It was a whirlwind week, August 3rd through 7th. A lot of waking hours last week, and we are now in the first full week of school with students. In addition to the standard closing out of a school year and starting another, we have 3 construction projects in motion, and I'll provide a little bit more of detail on those in our opening of school report. And I'm going to conclude my report and keep it brief, as we have a lot more to share from all of the members of the admin for the opening of school. But I will announce that we will be canceling the August 25th board meeting and resuming at the next regularly scheduled meeting on September 8th. So we see you back here then.
All right. Thank you, Tanya. Student Advisory Report. Addie, welcome back.
Hi, everyone. Ooh, sorry. Okay. Starting at Brook Knoll, it's a great start to the school year. The first few days are under our belt and everything is going smoothly. We're looking forward to a wonderful year of learning together. Coffee talk with the principal and PTO president. Thank you to all of the parents who joined us yesterday to kick off the school year and connect with our school community. Back to school night, August 19th. Please join us to learn more about your students' classroom, meet with their teachers, and hear about expectations for the year. Lunch begins this Friday. This large format social group will kick off, lunch, sorry. This large format social group will kick off Friday in the BK Gardens. We look forward to bringing students together for connection and fun. The first assembly of the year is this Friday. Brook Knoll will hold its first assembly of the school year led by their counselor. And here's to a great year. Brook Knoll is excited for a year filled with learning, connection, and growth. Moving on to Vine Hill, students are enjoying getting to know their teachers and new routines. Teachers are happy with their nice new carpets and blinds, and we're looking forward to a great year. At the middle school, it has been an exciting start to the year. Our students and staffs are settling into routines, building relationships, and creating a strong foundation for the year ahead. We are excited to welcome 3 new teachers to SVMS family: Chris Red, English, Kylie Meyer, who's science, and Alyssa Beltran, who's music. They have jumped right in and already feel like part of the crew. Across campus, teachers are focused on getting to know students by name, building meaningful connections, and establishing clear classroom routines and expectations. We know that strong relationships are the foundation for student success, and our staff is being intentional about creating classrooms where the students feel known, supported, and ready to learn. This week, our administrative team, including Miss Abby, will meet with students during PE to review SVMS student expectations and responsibilities. These presentations will reinforce our focus on kindness, responsibility, safety, and being a positive member of the Dolphin community. Wednesday's professional development will focus on IEP and 504 plan roundtables, giving staff an opportunity to collaborate, ask questions, and strengthen support for students with diverse learning needs. We're off to a strong start, and I'm incredibly grateful for the energy collaboration that our staff is bringing to SVMS. And last but not least, at the high school, Scotts Valley High School is on its way, and we've had a fantastic start to the year. In the lead up to school, our ASB students held their annual afternoon planning and team building and prep for SOAR Day, freshman orientation, and the year as a whole. We're excited about what this group has for our student body. Our freshman orientation this year was the day before school, and it was awesome to see our huge freshman class gathering together to kick off the year with a tour and information to get them set up for success for the year. Fall sports are well on their way. We had an incredible showing from our girls flag football team on the first day of tryouts. Flag football is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation, and the excitement has taken hold at SVHS. We anticipate having enough players for 2 teams this year. Our SVHS staff has been hard at work prepping to welcome the school year's students. Among those returning, we welcomed 8 new teachers to the nest, and also our new assistant principal, Rachel Pedley. We are excited for our new Falcon staff members and what the school year has for each of them. As always, it's a great to be a Falcon. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Addie. And Addie, what year are you now?
I'm a junior now.
All right, congratulations, being an upper class person. That's fantastic. All right, moving on, Santa Cruz CSBA report. We did not have a meeting over the summer, and the next meeting will be scheduled on September 21st. Lucita, will you be able to attend that one? They canceled the social, but the September 21st meeting, right? No, I'm saying the next meeting is September 21st. Are you going to be able to make it? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. SVEA report. Julie.
Hello, I'm Julie Maxwell, SVEA co-president, and happy to be back. It's almost like summer never happened, isn't it? You talk to parents and they're like, oh, thank God you're back, you know, so I get the dynamic of that. So we had the kickoff PD at the high school and all sites were there, and it was a lot of connecting, and it was fun to see everyone again. And we have 13 new staff members that we got to meet. And then there was a slightly odd the presentation where you have to give yourself an award, right? So Mike got a 20-year award, right? And Tanya got a 10-year award. It was like this awkward moment, but it turned out okay. And we're very proud of Robin Barito, correct? 30 years in the district, amazing feat for that. We also appreciated the time to collaborate with our teaching partners in the afternoon. It is so valuable to have that time right before school is starting and trying to get those first lessons under our belt. Much appreciated. Other than that, let's see, we're happy to hear about the board survey. First time hearing of it, but that sounds like a great idea. Hannah Welsh is going to be organizing our multicultural fair booth. So SVA will have a booth there and, you know, I'm sure we'll be coordinating with the district and fielding other assignments on that day. I wanted to thank Joe Allen. Thank you for giving us Christy. Christy moved from the high school and is the principal at the middle school now, and she is fitting in brilliantly. She's doing a great job. Just fits the vibe at the middle school, so we're really happy about that. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's all I have for you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Julie. Great. SVEF report. Stephanie?
Okay, Scotts Valley Ed Foundation. Pardon me for not looking at you, but I'm going to be reading from my cell phone. I have a lot of information. So on behalf of Scotts Valley Ed Foundation, they'd like to welcome back everybody to school. They're excited to share that the annual Scotts Valley School District Donation Drive, Give Where You Live, is now open. There is one donation site, all 4 school sites and Scotts Valley Ed Foundation. You can go to svf.net and select donate, and 100% of what you choose to donate, as well as corporate matches, will be passed along to that organization. Together, Scotts Valley Ed Foundation and the 4 parent sites have a goal of $395,000 to raise during the Give Where You Live campaign. Donations are tax deductible and monthly options are available. So please help them reach their goal today and please donate. Thank you to Superintendent Kraus and other district volunteers for helping out last month at Food Truck Friday. Our next Food Truck Friday is coming up on August 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Scotts Valley High School Parent Club volunteers will be helping us. These are such fun community events to raise $20,000 for our schools, and they hope to see all of you there. Thank you to our local business community for helping us raise over $25,000 in sponsorships through the Hometown Heroes and honor roll of realtor programs. This is the last week to sign up to be a sponsor. Check out the business sponsors on their website, svef.net. Scotts Valley Ed Foundation annual fundraiser, the VIP and Me Family Dance, is coming up on Saturday, September 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Boardwalk. Tickets are now on sale on our website. This event always sells out. So if you're interested in attending, now's the time to get your tickets. You can do that through SVEF, rep administrator at your school. And they just want to say thank you, everyone, to your support and continuing to support Scotts Valley Ed Foundation.
All right.
And that's all I have to say.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. Under other subcommittee reports, the bond subcommittee did meet over the summer. I know, Gary, if you wouldn't mind sharing a quick summary of that last meeting on July 30th.
Yeah, I didn't mention that occurred, but it was mostly what's going on. And things are going, I'd say, quite well at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Joe, if you have any thoughts on that. There was a few minor problems, nothing that we couldn't overcome. Joe?
In regards to, wow.
Not the improvement for like Wi-Fi and stuff like that, for the stadium.
Yes, stadium. It's better than this microphone.
So yes, the stadium is basically going along okay. Some of the other improvements for the high school have run into a few inner glitches. elementary schools. Josh, Tracy, I'm sorry. We keep pushing. I know Anya has put big boots on, tried kicking our architects. Only gets moderate response. We have moved, right? We have managed to move the
Childcare.
child care portable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. Maybe we will actually have plans for the elementary schools. Everything else that has occurred seems to be our self-performance stuff that we did on our own. So I will leave it to Tanya and Roger to fill in, because all I have left are swear words.
I think the self-improvement stuff is going to come up during the school reports, right? So I'm going to leave that for that agenda item. And I would echo Gary's sentiment that we would love to see the architects get into a higher gear and move down the road faster. For sure. Otherwise, like I said earlier, I am pleased with the progress, and it feels like we are on schedule up at the high school for the track. So excited about that. All right, very good. Moving on then to matters from the public. Do we have any blue slips tonight? No blue slips. I don't see anyone rushing to the podium. All right, moving on then to administration. Yay, the start of school reports. Turn it over to Tanya to kind of lead all the various folks who are going to be reporting tonight.
All right, as is our tradition, all the members of cabinet, all the site administrators give an update on the opening of school. So I will kick it off, and we will go in the order that is in the agenda. All right, so during the summer, we completed site cleaning and professional carpet cleaning. We hosted the Champion Summer Program at the middle school, and we completed a variety of on-site projects at other 3 sites. As discussed, the Scotts Valley Stadium project continued throughout the summer. If you have had a chance to see the progress, it's definitely beginning to look like the foundation of a stadium. Dirt stadium, but it still looks like a stadium. That's progress, right? And as mentioned, the district also performed several projects. I want to say that the stadium, believe it or not, is on schedule, and weather permitting, it will be completed on target, but keep your fingers crossed about the winter weather that could delay our end date. So some of the self-performing projects over the summer, and we also contracted out other work, as mentioned in Julie's report. Elementary classrooms that were painted, carpet was installed. I will admit that the project did not go nearly as smoothly as we had hoped and promised. I think they will remember me. And based on our experience, I would not recommend that vendor again. The Vine Hill PTA also purchased window blinds for installation, so that was completed. So a big shout out to the PTA. We also, as mentioned, successfully moved the Vine Hill Child Care Center, not when we wanted to, but when we could. We were hoping to move it and have it ready at the start of school, and that did not work out as planned. But it is one, and people were asking me, why that move? Well, it is one of the first moves associated with the overall plan for the site. So that's why we had to make that move. And then right now we are finalizing the design plans for multipurpose rooms on both campuses and playground equipment. It is our hope to have plans into DSA no later than October of this year. There was a different month mentioned, and that month is no longer happening. It's happening sooner. So we're hoping that happens, and we're hoping DSA actually doesn't take as long as they did on the high school stadium project. Once our plans are approved, we will begin mobilizing paths of travel and building a multipurpose room on both of those sites, and also bringing in new playground equipment. That's kind of exciting when it happens. We also completed several required tests over the summer, and a lot of the foundational work that nobody really gets to see, but it's all required before you can actually get started. On another note, we held our new hire orientation on Friday, July 31st. As Julie mentioned, I think there are about 13 new employees, followed by our district kickoff that Monday, August 3rd. then a full professional development day, teacher work day, and then our students arrived on Thursday, August 6th. As we shared with the different district staff, we remain committed to implementing our multi-tiered systems of support across the district, providing every student with academic, behavioral, and social emotional support that they need. We will hear more about this from Kathy, continue strengthening mathematics instruction. This year, we are adding another important focus, which is writing across all subject areas, district-wide, practicing with something in your hand rather than texting. We will also continue our work around diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging with an increased focus on equity through the instructional lens. Over the summer, Kathy compiled a significant amount of data, and as part of our focus, every teacher, every administrator, including members of our district office, will identify at least one focus student this year. So we're excited about that. And it's kind of a new thing for us to do district-wide. Also, Scotts Valley Unified School District will intentionally reduce screen time in the classroom. We've developed guidelines by grade span and reviewed them with teachers on our professional development day. And overall, this was well received by our teachers. I'll wait to hear how it was received by students. On the first day with students, cabinet members toured school sites. The energy across the campuses was really positive. It was wonderful to see students back on campus. I couldn't believe that I saw all the TKers like sitting on a bench all together and minding. It was amazing. And there were a lot of them. And so that was kind of an exciting part of the first week of school, or preparing for the start of school. Unfortunately, during that first week of school, our newly hired CBO resigned. So we are back to situation normal. And I again want to thank everyone for all of their hard work and preparation in getting our schools ready for the start of the year. Our admin worked over the majority of the summer. Teachers were in classrooms far before their first day that they were required to be there. And you could tell on the first day of school that people had put energy into welcoming students onto our campus. So thank you. So now I will turn it over to Human Resources.
Thank you. Oh, I'm up there, great. Hi, everybody, welcome back. I'll give you some updates from our staffing department. I am happy to say we started the year with all of our certificated positions filled, so we didn't have any vacancies there. We actually only had 10 new people, but we've had a lot of people moving around and kind of squeezing into positions that are new for them, but they are familiar people to us, and that's kind of how we get by. We had to deal with about 5 resignations that came late in the year, actually after school got out. And I can tell you that 4 of them went over the hill to seek their riches, and good for them. That's their prerogative. And 1 moved to Southern California for family reasons. So none stayed locally. Our significant transfer, of course, you heard, was Miss Danner being plucked from the high school and joining the middle school team. And we have a great and wonderful assistant principal in Miss Pedley. So I'm really pleased at that transition. It was midsummer. I think I did the interview on Zoom from Hawaii, and I was ecstatic that we had such a good candidate. So we're very fortunate for that. Couple reminders, we do have our MTSS elementary position, 1 at each site, and those are supported by our parent clubs in very large part, and we are very thankful for that support. We do have 4 librarians, and they are supported by SVEF, and we are very thankful for that support. The 4th and 5th grade elementary teachers are getting their prep time provided by our art and music teachers, who are funded by Prop 28. So all of that creative wrangling that we did back in February and March, we pulled through on that. Our athletic trainer is in fact full-time because she is now also our health teacher at the high school. So we were able to solve a problem there, and it's a very elegant solution, and we're looking forward to watching her in action as a teacher. You are aware we do not have a student services director, so we spent some of our summer parsing out those responsibilities. Nonetheless, our wellness center is open at the high school, and it is open part-time, so it won't be open on Fridays. Be aware of that. Ms. Kraus mentioned our once again vacuum in the CBO seat. So that's very unfortunate. We're actively pursuing a couple different options to move forward there. We did something new this year at the PED for the teachers is I did a very, very fast presentation on open enrollment. We had a couple of significant changes of new plans and it's frankly kind of a confusing mess of ideas. So I tried to lay it out as easily as I could for everybody and that was great and hopefully they got that good education. Our rates will be going up 13% on October 1st, as we've discussed. So it was important that people really know what their options are and choosing what they can responsibly for themselves. Something new that we did this year that Nicole will talk about, we held a SPED A training, and that's really been needed. We hired 7 new special education assistants for this coming year, and part of the reason for that is an investment in bringing them onto our payroll and not having to go to a third-party agency, which costs more for some of these one-to-one aides. So it's a cost-cutting measure as well. Yeah, I think with that, that is my report.
Great. Thank you, Mike.
Good evening. A lot of you have hinted at our professional development day. So that was the day after the kickoff. And we had lots of activities. Our theme this year is focus and intentionality. Moker, our PEBC coach, came and joined us again and continued the work that we've been doing for the last couple of years. We focused on discourse and mathematics last year, and we're bridging that into writing. So helping students bridge their thinking on the paper, talking to each other, and then explaining their reasoning and justification for their work. So that is our push there. Our non-math secondary teachers worked with their site principals, looking at the equity lens, learned more about the ladder of inference while looking at data and understanding where they are when they're understanding student data. Our elementary teachers participated in part 1 of the comprehensive ELD training that our secondary teachers participated in the spring. And our secondary teachers also participated in part 2, which was the implementation of integrated ELD within their classrooms. TK2 had a session on classroom management and routines, especially visual schedules for the littles. We discussed our screen time guidelines or technology guidelines, and we're collecting feedback from the teachers now through a survey. Counselors worked on CCGI, another one for you. That's the California, it is our California College Guidance Initiative, and that is the state of California's college and career planning tool. So counselors had some time to work with that and have training before even this session. We're also looking at the Cal State University system with their direct admission program. So our counselors got to learn more about that on that day. And the best part really was the PLC time. So the collaboration time for our staff, which came at the end of the day. So they had all the new information and they could onboard their new teammates and maybe add some new stuff into their year. We've been monitoring enrollment closely. We are at a total of 2,065 students that are on our campuses currently. 5th, 7th, and 9th grade classes are our largest population at over 165 each. First day of school was great, visiting all the sites at the secondary level. I love seeing former students who are so grown up now and challenging themselves with hard classes. And I got lost in TK. They couldn't find me because I was playing at the sand table with little ones. So I can't help myself. I'm elementary teacher. Our math pilot is starting for all 3 school sites. Training is on Thursday for our pilot teams. Our core teachers are focusing on the pilot. And also on Thursday, I booked myself a lot. Our writing committee is also beginning, and we're going to focus on writing across the curriculum, different writing strategies that can be implemented in any subject area. And I'm really excited for this team to begin. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Kathy. Nicole.
Hear me at this point?
For you. How's this? How's this? Okay. This is my first experience in this position as interim Fed director. Thank you. So I jumped in July, and so have many of our service providers and teachers and specialists. A lot of them came back the last couple of weeks of July to prepare and work together for this incoming year. Specifically, those who are spread across 2 sites are maximizing our resources this year, so caseloads are full. And the collaboration has been pretty smooth. In fact, today we problem solved on who's covering for who to make sure all IEPs are covered, and they feel like they have preparation time for assessments and such. So it's coming together well, even with all the students that we have and the needs. We had an opportunity to get together as a certificated team in a department on the PD day, and then welcome our new IA staff on Wednesday, the 5th. And that training involved us grounding ourselves in a shared expectations through a handbook and learning about their positions as it is appropriate per kids' needs and their assignments. So that led into the opportunity for those who supporting individual students to have a meet and greet. We welcomed our new students, a meet and greet with their instructional assistants and teachers if they so chose, and returning students that are coming back from the county programs. So it was a really special day. Where the teachers and I dove right into Lenny Learning and have a nice shared agreement on how we're going to utilize the platform to adapt curriculum and align with our gen ed scope and sequence. That's been going smoothly. They're really excited. They shared ideas and things that have already been working for them really well. And then moving forward, we have some regular department meetings at each site that are going really well. And I'm excited because our leads at each site are awesome, and they've just been super supportive of each other and me. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Lynn.
Welcome.
Lenny Learning is an online curriculum. That's what she was referring to. All right, Mr. Allen, you're up next.
Okay. Just be back here. Well, it's been, as everybody said, a great start so far. We have both the largest class in the district and the smallest class in the district. And it's kind of weird because the largest class is the youngest at the high school and the largest one is the oldest, or the smallest is the oldest. So they're offset. And there are a lot of freshmen on campus. And it's really kind of cool, actually. I really enjoy it. So yeah, if you want to enjoy freshman chaos, come up at lunch. So yeah, we started out on the first day of school handing out stickers celebrating the birthday of Scotts Valley, as well as having some students fill out some postcards that we're going to put into a what do you call it, treasure box thing, time capsule. There it is. Yep. And so we've got that. Yeah, sorry. That's my brain. Yeah, so we had students fill that out. It was really fun to have kids contemplate what do they love about Scotts Valley, what do they think it's going to be in 10 to 15 years. So it's really fun. Our teachers are working with our students in regards to continuing our cell phone and screen policy and continuing to look at that and how can we adjust on our sites. Many of our teachers were like, thank you. We were already headed that direction anyway, so this is really easy for us. We just kind of needed the permission to be able to move towards less screens. Construction is happening. Most of the time it's not very impactful on what's happening on the campus itself. But there's always kind of this curious thing of, hey, what's popped up today? Oh, they did that new form. So it's always fun to look and check that out. Our yearbook, digital media, and video production classes are overflowing. And so we've seen this really cool new interest in our kids. While we're telling them to have less screen time, they're going, well, this is kind of where we see things going and we're excited about this, and how do we edit things and how do we do things more on the digital side anyway. So it's really kind of this fascinating dichotomy that we have. Big shout out to Melissa Needles over the summer, did a ton of work on our site. She is currently helps out with during lunch and break with food service supervision, but is always looking for odd jobs and helped out this summer. And she dusted and cleaned things that I don't think have been dusted or cleaned for 25 years. And she was thorough, top to bottom. It was just really, really nice. So, but yeah, we are continuing to tighten up our tutorial system. We have a little bit of a different system this year, just because of one of our teachers no longer being there and a program that we used. And so we're actually going to follow a process very similar to what the middle school does, their ELT, and how students can access different teachers. We're also trying to really tighten up the flow of students off of our campus. And we're really making students follow through on filling out their open period passes, making sure that they have those, that they're accountable to that. We've also rearranged our break so that students have enough time to get a break, but not enough time to leave campus and head down to Starbucks and then show up 10 minutes late to class. So we're really trying to focus on keeping our students at school, keeping it something that's positive and energetic for them and a place that they want to be, a welcoming place. And they don't feel like they have to leave campus to get that.
Aka.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Principal Danner.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, thank you. Still sounds kind of weird. Thank you, Julie, for the sweet shout out. I appreciate you feeling like I'm part of the vibe, because the vibe at the middle school is incredible. I love the vibe at the middle school. Everyone has just been so kind and wonderful to me. And I am just overly impressed by what hard workers you all are at the middle school, and how much you care about kids, and the connections that you have together. These teachers eat lunch together every day. It's adorable. And they're just a tight group that just support each other all day long. You know, they're constantly texting each other, from what I hear, about, you know, helping each other and supporting each other. So it's so nice to be in such a supportive environment like that. So the first week of school was super fun. Lots of kids everywhere, lots of tether balls flying, and we don't have tether balls at the high school, so that was new to me. Lots of basketball, lots of Gaga pit, and I met a lot of the 8th grade boys. Unfortunately, I'm kidding. They're lovely, but I met a lot of them, so that's good. It's been super fun meeting all of the siblings of my prior students at the high school. They'll run up to me and be like, "I'm so-and-so's sister, I'm so-and-so's brother, I'm their cousin." It's really cute to get to know people. So far, we've already had 2 staff meetings, which is crazy because we've only had 4 days of school. So a lot of information has been sent out and shared, and we've already collaborated on a lot of things. We've already had a department head meeting, which was really fun to get to meet everybody and kind of get the tones. And so I could feel like, you know, what everyone needs and wants and is hoping for the school year. So that was really, really exciting. Incredible office staff. There's so much support in the office, and it's been wonderful to work with these amazing women as well. On Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, we're having a admin meet and greet. So if anybody wants to come by and say hello to me and Miss Asamoto, that is at 4:30 at the quad, and following that is going to be the first PTA meeting, if anybody wants to attend that as well. I encourage everyone to come there. And classes are just running smoothly, and kids are happy and smiling, and the 6th graders are adorable. They're so little, which is new to me too. But they seem really excited, and I'm getting to know the Dolphin Diner. Yes, the flow. So that's fun as well. There's just so much going on, and it's so nice how it's contained and managed, and just learning all the structures and all the systems of the middle school. So, and hoping everyone stays patient and kind as they learn all these new things. And yeah, no construction. So that's nice. Sorry, guys. It's a beautiful campus. It's just such a joy to be there every day. And what else, guys? about it, right? Everything's flowing well and working good. So yeah, that's my report.
Good, thank you.
Mhm.
Principal Wall.
Let's test this mic. Oh, not bad. Well, first off, Principal Danner, there is no need to apologize. We don't have construction either. So.
That hurts.
First off, let's get a couple things I'm required to say. Tracy insists every time that I say this. I am Josh Wall. I'm Tracy's best friend. Now that we got that out of the way, I've taken on a new role this summer. I'm also her talent agent. And so I will be doing an introduction today for her work because we decided to join together on this. The secondary principals, they're adorable. They're still pretty new. They have their lists. They're really excited. Yeah. Pros over here. We didn't have to think about day one. It just happens. It was awesome, as you can expect. We knew you were going to hear the summer reports about the work that we did. We knew that we were going to have our highlights shared by our student rep. So we wanted instead to bring you an artistic representation of what it's like on day one at an elementary school. And I know that both of our schools are well known for high literature, so we created some prose based on kind of writing throughout the curriculum. Yes, this is kind of an homage to A Tale of Two Cities. Charles Dickens, Charles as Tracy likes to call him, Chuck. So this is an honor of Chuck on day one at an elementary.
Day one report. Dickens said it best. It was the best of days. It was the longest of days. It was the day of sharpened pencils and missing markers. The day of brand new backpacks and new clothes already dirty or lost. A day of new creaseless book spines and dusty old computers. The morning of great expectations and the parking lot of great confusion. The hour of confident kindergartners and the hour of parents who had forgotten where to park and how to say goodbye.
It was the season of freshly laminated name tags, of squeaky clean sneakers, of lunch boxes packed with great care, and lunches returned with even greater care because it was pizza day. It was the beginning of learning, the beginning of friendships, the beginning of wondering when dismissal would finally arrive. In short, it was the first day of elementary school, a day in which everyone knew exactly what they were doing, except for, of course, those who did not, and they were the loudest. It was the best of days. It was the longest of days. It was day one at elementary. What we lacked in perfection, we made up for in kindness scoops with awesome sauce.
Well, that sums it up.
Love it. All right, does that conclude the first day of school report then? Excellent. Moving on to, and that was the highlight of the night. Okay, now we move into business. Sorry, business folks, but you know, it's just not as exciting what we heard from all of you department heads. Great to hear that the school year is off to a fantastic start. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go right after you on that one. All right, moving to business. Number one, the 25-26 AB 1200 public hearing. Because we have the adoring public rushing up to talk about this. So as required by law, I am opening the public hearing at 7:01 p.m. And I will not pause for a full 60 seconds, just so we would close at a different minute. I see no one rushing to the podium, so I will close it at 7:01 p.m. as well. And we then move on to number two, where we actually discuss amongst ourselves the 2025-26 AB 1200 Public Disclosure of Collective Bargaining Agreement for the Scotts Valley Education Association, CTA, NEA. Anya.
All right, so on my business hat, AB 1200, as many of you are familiar, is a requirement to publicly disclose the fiscal impact of a collective bargaining agreement. As has been mentioned, we provided off-schedule bonuses at the end of last year. So legally, an AB 1200 is not required because it's not an ongoing expenditure in the multi-years projection. However, we are still working with the County Office of Education, choosing to, per their request, publicly disclose the fiscal impact to the district based on that one-time bonus. So you will see all the documentation behind it that Veronica Flournoy prepared in terms of the numeric backup. You can see that the financial impact to the district was $298,219 to cover management, classified, certificated, and confidential. And so with that, I am asking that the board approve the AB 1200 and all of the documentation attached.
Thank you, Tanya. Trustees, any questions? See any questions from the public either? Therefore, can I get a motion to ratify the 25-26 AB 1200 public disclosure of collective bargaining agreement?
So moved.
Very good. Let's see, this is not a resolution, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to the 26-27 45-day budget update. Yeah.
So Mike and I will be presenting this as he's walking to the podium. I want to remind folks that this is an information item. And there was a document prepared by Veronica in the board book. And there is also some of these out here for the public. That the same information is broken out in two slides that Mike is going to present. 45-day budget revision is required if there is a significant difference from when the district adopted its budget, which we adopted on June 16th, and then the state adopted their budget a few weeks later. And therefore, we are required to come back and share the differences of revenues and expenditures. Today, we're going to be sharing with you the revenue side of the house. And so with that, I will let Mike kick it off.
Thank you. Okay, in the board book, there was a one-page document that was published. I've just cut that up into pieces for this presentation, but there's nothing being presented here that's any different from what was in the board book. And just so the audience here is aware, this is not the same as an adopted budget. This is really highlighting the significant differences between our adopted budget and what we learned when the state adopted its budget a month later. So we're just going to hit the key points. Okay, so starting with this slide here, key point number one is the COLA. The COLA was improved from the governor's January budget proposal, which is what our adopted budget was based off of. At that time, we were looking at 2.41%. That's in column A, row 4. And what was adopted was 2.87%. That's in column D, row 4. Additionally, this state augmented that COLA with a 1.44% increase to the cost of living. So you can take that 2.87, that 1.44, and put them together. That is our functional COLA for this year. So we certainly appreciate that. I will add a caveat that 1.44% increase that the governor added on top of the statutory COLA was meant to include a new law which requires the district to cover 14 weeks of paid pregnancy disability leave, which starts January 1st moving forward. So that was intended, that augmented COLA, that increase was intended to cover this other now statutory obligation that the district will have moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to kind of scoot down to the red letters here. What you can see in row 13, column A, is that in the current year, we expect to receive $459,005 more via the LCFF revenue than we did at the adopted budget. And because this is ongoing increases, we are using the LCFF calculator to project the effect of that COLA moving forward. And so you can see in the out years in column B and C in row 14, 530,000 and 479 respectively. So those are ongoing increases through our multi-year projection. So it's very welcome news. Okay, I'll be moving on. The next key feature is a one-time discretionary block of money. And in the governor's January budget proposal, there was $1 million recognized. And in our adopted budget, we had allocated that $1 million. So you will see that in row 23 and 24, in column D, there's 350,000 and 650,000. Combined, that's the $1 million. And in our adopted budget, which was approved in June, 350,000 went to special ed costs this year, and 650,000 was assigned to special ed costs in the last year of the third year out. So the good news is, if you look at row 21, column D, we are expecting to receive $1.8 million in this one-time block of money. So going to row 26 in red, we expect to increase our revenue by $825,000 from what we had adopted in June. Now, just one thing to keep in thought about, this is one-time money. Right, so using it for ongoing costs is always something to be thoughtful about.
I'd also like to add, Veronica shared with us that we didn't know this, and I think it might have been in a trailer bill. There's a new condition attached to these one-time dollars, but there's no guidance that's been provided yet.
Yep.
And one of those is districts and charters that are in declining enrollment and are projected to be within that same decline within the next 5 years. Shall hold a public hearing on plans to address the declining enrollment's impact, including school closures or consolidations. We're still looking at our enrollment. It looks to be on par, but we're waiting for the guidance from the state to determine what is that definition of declining enrollment to meet that requirement.
And the other caveat with that is that we are now prohibited from charging employee fees for professional development services and induction. And we've not ever had a history of doing that, so that's not going to affect our practice. Interestingly, we have till 2032 to spend this money, which is a little comical because I can't imagine anybody holding on to it for that long, given everybody's deficit spending across the state. But if we want to be prudent, we can hold on to it for a very long time. Okay, the last significant point is special education. And I will point you to row 39. There is an increase in special education funding from the state. The base rate is now to be set at $1,340 per ADA. So, and that's not just special education student, that is student period. So that's our entire district enrollment. That is not that we are getting $1,400 new money, because in the governor's budget in January, it was $999. So from what we adopted, it's more like $341 per student. It is still a significant amount of money, and it is ongoing. So it's very, very welcome. The general function of this money will be to reduce the amount of contribution coming from the unrestricted general fund to the restricted. And if you recall, in all of our budget conversations, there's this huge dollar amount. It's $5.5 million, $6.5 million, then $7 million that we have to take out of our unrestricted general fund to pay for our excess special ed costs. That is principally where this is going, which in theory is going to free up more money on our unrestricted side of the budget, which is great news. However, all of this money through the law AB 602 first has to come through the SELPA filter. And the SELPA is a county level organization We have a lot of services and a number of students that they are, serving at that level. And so they get to calculate all of their costs for all of their services. We have very, very little control over it. They get the money from the state first, they take their cut, and then they give us what's left over.
And that fluctuates all year long. Mike and I were just talking about this. It makes it very difficult to budget when we get a dollar amount. And because it's a countywide SELPA, it's the utilization of each district in each one of these programs run by the County Office of Education that can go up and down. So we still are not clear what that dollar amount to the district looks like yet, but we're working on it.
So, going to be a net positive for us, hard to peg down at this exact moment what that is. Now, to conclude, we have these three fairly sizable new revenue sources, which we're pleased to receive. What shall we do with those, right? And if you, well, here's our general recommendations, and we kind of spoke about them before when we talked about the May revise. One is to recognize that in our adopted budget, we still have $537,000 in layoffs that we will have to execute this year to realize at the start of next year. Right, and so those are not yet identified in terms of positions and assignments and schools and peoples and programs. And so that will be a very big challenge if we have to address that. Also, we have salary improvement. We all want all of our employees to, make a healthy living wage. As difficult it is around here, that's never not a goal. And lastly, we've recognized, and I mentioned it before, we have a reliance on our parent and community for financial support. Some of that support has been traditional over the years, and some of it has been new because of certain circumstances. We want to consider not relying on them for certain key positions. Some of the reliance that we are doing this year on those groups had to do with the layoffs that we already did last year, right? So that focus on relying less on the community donations is also maybe restoring some of the cuts that we did that aren't best for kids or our programs. So that's the top of our list to consider as we move forward in implementing our budget for this year.
Questions?
Questions, trustees? I have one comment to make on the SELPA issue. As I recall, last year, we actually went negative on the funding from the SELPA, the actual cash that came to us, because all of the money allocated to Scotts Valley was used up by the services our Scotts Valley students were taking advantage of from the county.
Right.
Do I remember that correctly?
166,000. Huh?
Right.
At the first interim report that they provided to us. So their budget projection was we would owe the money at that time. I believe we were expecting, or just maybe have recently received, their unaudited actuals of last year. So we have to factor that in, but that has happened within the last 24 hours.
I know that we have.
But you are correct. We were kind of in the hole. And then based on changes in the regional programs, we kind of went back up. And then we dropped again. And we just got information yesterday that I sent to Veronica, and we haven't even had a time to digest what that looks like for this year. And we need to also get some information from Nicole to see what expenditures that are already in place will come out of those dollars.
Sure, that makes sense. But at least this additional 341 per student makes it more likely that we're going to be in the black getting some of this SELPA money to us this year.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay, good. That's a move in the right direction, for sure. Not that, I mean, we rely on county services. They're very valuable for our students, so we don't begrudge that. But it would be great to get some of that money, like you said, to flow into our restricted side of the budget and reduce the transfer that we have to keep making every year from the general. Good. Anything else?
Any other questions or comments?
Public? Okay, so again, this is just an interim report. We will see our normal unaudited actuals next, and then first interim, and that'll give us much more solid ground to look at the MYP and see what we've got in terms of actual budget to work with. But I appreciate your recommendations, and I'm excited that the augmentation is on the list. All right, this is informational item, so no action required. Thank you, Mike. All right, now we have some board resolutions. Number 4, adopt board resolution 27001, approval of district representative to the Joint Powers Authority. Tanya?
You've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
So we are updating this again to remove the CBO's name and re-adding the superintendent.
Yep. Questions, trustees? Yeah, frustrations for sure. Questions from the public? Nope. All right. Can I get a motion to approve board resolution 27001, approval of district representative to the Joint Powers Authority?
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Thank you. It is a resolution, so it requires a roll call vote. Stephanie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Gary?
Aye.
Thank you. Lucia?
Yes.
Thank you. Erica? Thank you. And I vote yes as well. Resolution passes unanimously. Moving on to the next resolution, number 5, adopt board resolution number 27-002 to authorize employees to sign payroll and vendor warrant orders and other district documents for fiscal year 26-27.
Similarly, this is a document you saw at the end of last year, adding a CBO. This is now removing the CBO's name, and Mike and I are the 2 authorizers.
Very good. Questions, trustees? Questions from the public? I was reminded by our faithful VP that I should be asking Addie for her votes. She's back and she's ready to vote. Addie, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to approve board resolution 27002? It's out of order.
So moved.
Thank you.
Love it. Thanks.
I second.
Very good. Addie voted yes. Now trustee Stephanie, how do you vote?
Yes.
Harry?
Aye.
Lucia?
Yes.
Erica? I vote yes as well. Thank you very much. That concludes business. Then we'll move on to board policies. And boy, was there a rich set of board policies, thanks to Tanya's summer sleepless night reading. This is what you use to fall asleep.
This is a cabinet party right here. Yes, so a lot of these came out in May, June. And so there are quite a few. There are a few new to the district. Many of these are based on new laws. Some are just CSBA's recommendation, and a couple others have a court decision included in there as well.
Bless you.
Bless you, bless you. Mr. Wall. So they're up for first and or final reading, and I know there was one particular BP, Roger, that you wanted to
There was
discuss.
BP, it's the weather safety one. I just covered it up. 51-41-75. But as board president, I want to go last. So I want to first see our trustees. Do you have any other BPs that you would like to discuss? Okay. So yeah, on BP 51-41-75, weather safety, there's a section on the second page called sun safety. And on this one, it says the superintendent or designee shall establish developmentally appropriate prevention intervention program for grades transitional K through 12 to prevent student overexposure to UV radiation. Because that's one of our responsibilities now too. And I did some digging on the Ed Code, and the Ed Code does require us to allow students to use protective clothing. It requires us to allow them to apply sunscreen. It requires us to allow them to use lip balm. I don't see any of you rushing to prevent any of these activities, so I think that's all good. But I didn't see anything that required us to establish a development of the appropriate prevention intervention program. So I would like to strike the word shall and instead replace it with the word may, just to reduce the number of policies that we have to keep writing. And maybe, global warming, that's a thing. As things get worse, we may choose to write a policy, but I would love to decide to do that rather than require us to do it. So with the board's approval, I would like to modify the word shall to may under Sun Safety in this board policy. So then if everybody, I see everyone nodding their head, any disagreement, any discussion? Seeing none, okay.
Well, hang on just a sec. Let's take a look.
Yes. All right, Gary?
Well, eventually, both elementary schools will have a multi-purpose room. So
Right.
there'll be more opportunity for shade.
Right, exactly. So I didn't want us to have to write a policy now when we're in flux.
Yeah, I had read that law, I couldn't remember whether it was a shall or a may, but it is a may.
In the law, yeah, but
Well,
the
under-
board policy says shall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a shall for allowing outdoor use during the school day. May for setting policies. It's unprotected.
Right.
I agree. It's only get as little as possible.
Right, good. So.
I'm good.
Any comments from, and Superintendent Kraus agrees as well, comments from the public? I know it's one word, but hey, we had to have this conversation. Therefore, can I ask for a motion for, I guess we can only do first because we need to come back and do final with that modification later, right? No, we can do it.
You can-
We can do final as well?
I'll
Okay,
make
great.
that change.
Then I'm gonna go all the way. Can I get a motion to approve all of the presented board policies with the one modification of the word shall to will in board policy 514175? Shall to may. Yep,
I motion to
excellent, very good. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. None opposed, the motion carries. We've made this modification, thank you very much. And that brings us to the final item of the evening, the consent agenda. Trustees, any changes to the consent agenda? Anything you'd want to pull for discussion? Okay, I will make one comment. Again, I want to gratefully thank our community for over $100,000 in donation to support our programs and our schools. So thank you so much for that. Okay, then can I get a motion to approve consent?
I motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Excellent. Patty, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Excellent. And with that, I encourage you to read upcoming activities and future meeting dates. Recall that we did cancel the August 25th meeting, so don't come here on the 25th. We'll see you all in September. I call this meeting to adjourn at 7:25 p.m. Have a good evening. Thank you.